Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, welcome once again to another Geek Culture Congress. I'm one of your hosts, as always, Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, accompanied by my very good friend, the very funny and talented Mr. Tarek Lewis, actor and comedian extraordinaire. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm pretty funny, man.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing very good, man. I'm
Good,
surviving.
man.
I'm out here. I got my glass of wine,
Yeah?
my early nightcap.
Nice, nice, nice.
Mm.
I'm gonna disable my camera here and just put you on, okay? But you can still hear me, right?
I can,
All
yeah.
right, cool, cool. Cause
But you don't want the people to see you, Speedy?
well, no, they're seeing me already on the nice looking Checkpoint XP stream here. The camera
Oh, so
already.
I'm not on the nice looking one.
No,
I'm on the
yeah, sorry,
what,
it's
16-bit. I'm on the Super Nintendo camera.
yeah. Oh man. Dan, did you hear the scoop that we dropped on 4th of July? Did you get to check it out?
Did
Yeah?
I did, yeah.
Yeah? So what do you think about it?
Um, I I hope it's accurate. You know what I mean? Like I hope like nothing changes. I
Hmm.
like the idea.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
I like that the whole cosmic side of the X-Men. That's what always brought me to the to read the comic books anyway, more than the mutant, kind of side of things, But
I,
I like the cosmic lore part of it.
I'm different.
Mm.
I was more into the mutant thing,
Right.
but I think that that's been done so much that doing a bigger cosmic thing makes more sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not more sense, but
Right.
it's a better take,
Right.
I
Hmm.
think, to be original at this point.
Yeah.
Because I think there is some fatigue. There's not X Men fatigue. Not everybody loves X Men, but
Right.
most people love the X Men. But
Right.
I think there is some like okay, it's kind of like when people they don't want to hear Spider Man's origin story anymore. Like no one wants to see that anymore.
Right. Right.
So it's like I go cosmic with it, and then that'll be better.
I think um I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it's executed because that's always the issue, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's always a how is it presented, and of course, they got to make it flow with what they've been doing with the cinematic universe now. So it's not gonna survive probably exactly how it was in the comic books. You know what I mean? They tweak
yeah.
things and make it work for the reality or the reality works in that universe. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I reserve judgment right now. I appreciate the scoop. So it was exciting to share that. And man, the insider Mikey Sutton, shouts out to him for including us in that 4th of July scoop jam that he did with multiple shows and
I
podcasts. Yeah,
I'm following him now on Facebook and other venues, and
yeah,
this is pretty amazing.
yeah, yeah, man.
To be honest,
He's
it
got
doesn't
some
lit up
inside.
my
Yeah,
feed.
yeah, he's got a bunch of inside hookups, man.
Yeah,
I wish I had those hookups. I'll tell you that. But
yeah,
I want to talk about all the scoops
yeah,
that he dropped through all the shows, okay? Because
yeah.
they're
But
even bigger headlines than what we talked about, what we had the exclusive
w-
for.
before we
So
move on, let me just
yeah,
say my one of my favorite episodes of X Men, the most popular animated series, is when they were like, they had to fight the Shi'ar, and then Jean and Cyclops threw on the old costumes and went
right.
fighting. That was
Oh
definitely one of my
yeah,
favets.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I remember that they had to
I,
battle them, right, in the like for the survival of the planet or something like that, so they wouldn't invade Earth or
yeah, it
something.
was like either they kill Jean or we destroy your planet or something like that.
Yeah,
And the
something
X
like
Men were like, nah, you ain't. That's our homegirl. And yeah, like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm excited, man. Let's see what happens with all that. But let's get into
yeah.
some other headlines that were dropped on the 4th of July weekend. Starting off with Spider-Man. So I'm gonna read you the whole scoop, but you probably read it already. But it's for everyone who's not on the up and up. So this was a scoop about Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man is dead. In a blockbuster scoop from months ago, Mikey revealed that the current plans were to bring Tobey Maguire for one last swing as the Amazing Arachnid for a live-action
Yeah.
interpretation of Into the Spider-Verse, which would find him teaming up with Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield. However, it wouldn't have a happy ending as they would like to have Maguire and quite possibly under supervision of original Spider-Man director Sam Raimi die at the climax in heroic endgame fashion. This would inspire Miles Morales to become Spidey in that universe. But the incredible
Yeah.
popularity of Morales is too massive now to be satisfied by animated fare. According to his inside sources, there are talks to have a separate franchise of Morales-led live-action Spider-Man movies, possibly called Ultimate Spider-Man, to separate them from Holland's hugely popular franchise. Initial discussions for the first Morales picture to take place years after the conclusion of the Spider-Verse, or whatever it will be called. Morales in his infancy stage, being a superhero, learning the ropes as a costume crime fighter, and also as a boy becoming a man and following love. You see, Morales is about to land a girlfriend, and she is no ordinary teenager either. Morales will be paired with Spider-Gwen in a contemporary twist on the original Silver Age story arc. As with Morales, Spider-Gwen already exists. There is no long origin story. Sony will be releasing this movie. Currently, Feige is seriously interested in producing himself. Let's see. Morales won't replace Holland. Instead, this will exist with his. That's where the multiverse will kick in. Morales will make references to Holland either through magical or scientific means, collaborate with him, and even meet some of the Avengers. It's all talk, but a tangled web is beginning to reveal itself. And then he gives a reveal about the villain, and the villain will be the ultimate version of the Green Goblin. I don't know if you're familiar with that version, Tarek.
I am not. You know, it's weird. I'm more familiar with the Spider-Man 2099 version than I am the Ultimate version of the Green Goblin.
Well, the Ultimate one is more he's more like a mutated monster.
Okay.
Yeah, version of the Green Lantern. The Green Lantern. Sorry, I'm getting all confused now. Of the Green of the Green Goblin, and he's
is it Norman Osborn or is it not?
Yeah, it is a Norman Osborn, and he mutates to like a monster, which is it's not it technically is remember he takes a serum and becomes super powered but he has a mask and a suit and some things too the version that was in the original Sam Raimi was about as closest as you would get to
the classic
the classic version, but the Ultimate one is more of a mutated one, so they don't know.
Kind of like what they if I remember correctly from the Into the Spider-Verse, there were some characters that were like a little more mutated than they were straight up.
Right.
I don't know if it was Rhino. There was some character in there. Was it the Green Goblin in the Into the Spider-Verse? Well, he was much more mutated than it was.
Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse
Scorpion. It was one of those characters.
Into the Spider-Verse, the Green Goblin there was very much like the Ultimate Spider-Man. Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
In that.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Into the Spider-Verse. Okay. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. Listen, I think again. Well, I brought it up when we were talking about the X-Men, like that. Right. These origin stories have been done, and now I think it's interesting the idea of I don't know if you said it already, but I remember from his scoop, it's that they'll be side by side, not side by side in the same film, but there'll be a Miles Morales Spider-Man,
right?
Chain of movies, and then a Peter Parker Tom Holland one. Mm-hmm. That I find interesting. I admire their ambition in doing that. I'm not sure how it's going to work though.
It's just like a lot for the average fly-by-night fan to chew. That's what it seems like to me. But I guess time will tell. Everything's got to be pieced out and slowly explained for some people. So I hope they just take their time with it and do what they need to do with it and stretch it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if anybody's gonna do that right, it's gonna be Kevin Feige. So,
is there such thing as the average fan now? Like, isn't everybody on this?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if everyone who's into that completely consumes the Marvel comic or has consumed Marvel comics before in their written form. You know what I mean? That's what I'd say by they may have seen the animated show maybe when they were a kid. You know what I mean? But I don't think they were actually integrated or assimilated into how a Marvel story is scripted, in written form. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know. I would say maybe 50%, and that's being generous.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I just think it's a
I'm,
lot. I think it's a lot to chew. I hope it's done right and spread out between years and built on, and of course things change, so who knows, what's
well,
gonna
here's the
happen
thing
between
too,
now and
man.
then.
With Marvel, well, it's so established now, so rooted that like unlike DC, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
they can afford to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So
They can
Marvel
have
can be
that.
like, ah, we messed up there and
Mm-hmm.
make a correction.
Right. Right. I think what's the word I wanted to look for is it, when they have a if they have a flat tire with a movie,
Yeah,
they patch it up and they move on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So when
Hmm.
they have a so product that came out, it's okay.
Yeah,
And
Ant Man and the whole
yeah.
Age of Ultron
Yeah,
franchise.
not everything's a diamond, unfortunately. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man, let's keep on going with all the scoops that he dropped. Okay, so this is a Thor one. Jane Foster would not be the only one worthy of holding Mjolnir. Is that how it's said right?
Mjolnir,
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 Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. I think it is. Yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder is enveloped in mystery despite rampant speculation of certain characters appearing. The Silver Surfer was debunked not too long ago, but Beta
Yeah.
Ray Bill remains a question mark.
Who
So,
does?
Beta Ray Bill. According to his
Yeah.
inside sources, Beta
Yeah.
Ray Bill will be coming to the MCU without a doubt. Whether that will be in Love and Thunder was still an unanswered question. Nevertheless, seems quite likely. However, there is one thing that is supposedly inevitable. Beta Ray Bill will take Mjolnir,
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir
Mjolnir.
away from
Yeah.
Thor. He will take the hammer away from Thor, okay? Let's call it the
Yeah.
hammer for now. Written and illustrated by Webster and the Mighty Thor 337 in 1983, Beta Ray Bill is considered one of comics' all-time game changers, and Marvel Studios has been waiting to adapt this story arc
Mm.
for years. Fans may see it sooner than they think. That's what he says. How you feel about that? I like it that they're trying to they're working on Thor, man. They're trying to
Yeah.
spice it up. They
I it would have been really, really cool if they had introduced Beta Ray Bill in Thor Ragnarok.
Hmm. I think that would have
Um,
been the time to do it, but maybe it might have been too much, and they wanted to
yeah.
focus on the
I
story they
just
were telling.
remember the animated version of
Hmm.
uh, Planet Hulk.
Right.
He fights Beta Ray Bill
Hmm.
instead of Thor in that version. So
Ah, yeah,
I thought that would have been a good tie-in. But
yeah.
I'm concerned about like I know the technology's up here now, but I'm concerned about like how's Beta Ray Bill gonna look? Is he just gonna look like a vulture? He look like Coco Crisp bird,
Oh, I
the
don't
Coco
know.
Crisp vulture
Well, I mean,
with. It's an interesting looking guy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
but I think they got to introduce him. I don't think you can fully flesh out Thor without introducing Betty Ray Bill.
I think I
But
think
isn't
they'll
it a
do
big deal
okay
now
job.
because Cap picked up the hammer?
All right.
Like we've seen another popular character pick up the hammer. Is it going to be as shocking, or is it going to be the fan service when Beta Ray Bill takes the hammer, or is it just going to be like,
I
you know
don't
what I
know,
mean?
man. Who knows what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
I just hope it's not corny. We all hope it's not corny and there's something like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
got, they gotta put some drama behind it, and
Hmm.
some stakes, some stuff at stake. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. But
Um,
I think did they have any dates on that? Because I feel like, man, they're
mm,
planning out. I mean,
it's just like I mean they're really, you gotta give it to Marvel. They're really planning out their game plan for years to
yeah,
come. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
hmm
it hasn't stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like they're okay.
yeah,
We're gonna do this. What if we did this? What if we did that? Oh, let's try and do
yeah.
this. Let's talk to this person. Let's talk to that person. You know what I mean?
They're planning 3 or 4 years ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I mean they're playing the long game. That's definitely
Yeah.
the the difference between them and quite possibly DC. And I want to get into DC right now because I got a Superman scoop. That man, like
Okay.
he dropped like 10 different scoops on 4th of July.
Yeah.
So
I might have read this already, but go ahead. Hit me.
all
Hit
right.
us with it.
This is while no directors or screenwriters have been attached to Man of Steel 2, the discussions have surfaced on where Henry Cavill would like for the franchise to be headed, and executives from both AT&T and Warner Brothers are apparently in agreement. While that doesn't signal a destination for the Man of Steel, It is looking increasingly likely for the franchise, if not the first sequel, as internal buzz grows, with both the MCU and DCEU exploring multiverse story arcs. I guess that's happening for DC.
Okay.
Excitement is brewing on what could possibly be a Superman Elseworlds tale that is both fresh and brimming with political undertones. Written by Mark Miller, Superman Red Sun is being discussed by a possible future entry in the series. If it proceeds, it won't be a literal translation, with Cavill meeting the Red Sun Superman from Another Earth. It's too early to tell, but conversations are burning like heat vision, apparently. So,
Meeting the Red Sun version, so not becoming the Red Sun version, but
Ye-
meeting the Red Sun.
I think it would. I guess it would be like a different one from a different universe, or I guess you're just gonna
Yeah,
do that different universe or like Elseworlds kind of movie, you know?
yeah. Well, I guess it depends on what they decide to do. If they're going to do this whole Flashpoint
Right,
thing,
right.
then you can have it makes sense to have the Red Sun Superman. But is I feel like the Red Sun thing was created when Russia was this big looming, you know, you're still trying to heal
Yeah,
over Apollo Creed dying in Rocky.
right. Well, I mean,
So
I think there's technically some, you know, due to the current political undertones, you know, our current leader of the free world, you know, and his
yeah,
allegations that you know Russia's manipulating him.
yeah,
You know, I think there's some could be some you know some current undertones that they could touch, you know, and
yeah.
make something interesting. Maybe for
Actually,
HBO Max, not for the scene
maybe, yeah.
movie cinema.
I actually just saw Red Sun for the first time, by the way.
The animated one.
Yeah,
The animated one's pretty good. It was okay.
yeah. I saw it
Yeah.
about a week or two ago. Quarantine. This is one of those quarantine
Yeah,
watches. Like,
yeah,
oh, this
yeah.
is a
Oh, let me watch this. Oh man, yeah, it's cool. You know, it's definitely a thing. Let's see. I'm trying to get my windows here up in order here. Shouts out to everyone who's watching the live show on Checkpoint XP. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we're gonna get into more. We're gonna talk into more all these scoops that were dropped by the insider Mikey Sutton on his 4th of July jam, he likes to call it. And let's see what else I got here and all the things that I've written down. Let's see your favorite Punisher.
my man.
Ever since Netflix canceled their Marvel TV shows, fans have wondered what will happen to Frank Castle, especially star John Bernthal,
Yeah,
because Netflix legal hold on these characters hasn't expired yet, but will soon. Marvel Studios has been unable to pursue new avenues for them. However, that doesn't mean talks haven't begun, and where they potentially could go. That means they talking. Because the Punisher is such a violent character, toning him down for Disney Plus wouldn't work. Disney is quite aware
yep.
of this, and there are no plans for his show to continue on that streaming channel. There has been chatter about either FX or Hulu for the Punisher, the hunting criminals free from censorship. Regardless of which of the two he ends up, details have begun to emerge on where his future stands. First of all, Marvel Studios intends to bring back Bernthal. However, it doesn't mean the new series will follow the continuity of the Netflix program, especially when the multiverse can explain it away. Or it can simply not refer to it, which I would prefer that, to be honest with you, because, you know, the Netflix shows weren't bad. I think they were okay.
I love the Netflix
Yeah.
Punisher show.
Yeah,
I think John Bernthal is Punisher now.
yeah.
Like he made it his own. It's gonna be one of those. It's not quite Captain America or not quite Iron Man, but
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be hard to replace him.
Yeah, no, I think it's the way to go. So, secondly, this show could be called Punisher War Journal, just as in the '80s comic book, which I like. Marvel Studios would like other adult-oriented heroes to guest, including Daredevil, which
Mm-hmm.
as Bernthal, they would love for Charlie Cox to come reprise his role, and Samuel
Yeah,
Jackson and his foul-mouthed fury. And you know,
as Fury.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for further developments.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens with that. I like that. I think Samuel Jackson's down for doing some TV shows. He did that little cameo in Agents of Shield. Before was the only one who did one back in
No,
the day.
no one watches that, but
Oh man, the last season was the season's actually pretty good, man. Can I ruin it for you?
yeah, go ahead, man. I'm not gonna
Because you're
watch
not
this.
gonna catch up. I know you're not gonna watch it. So
I'm
I just want to ruin it for you right now.
yeah.
So apparently in the last
Totally fair.
episode, spoiler alert, Spoiler alert. Tune out and tune back in.
Right.
I'll right back. I'm
If
gonna
you're
spoil
interested in it for
the
some
last.
strange reason,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna
tune
spoil the
out.
last season, the last episode of Agents of Shield. Okay, so Mac. Apparently, the bad guys got Mac. They traveled to the past, and the bad guys
Uh-huh.
have the bad guys have Mac's parents. Okay,
Okay.
and they're holding on to them because they wanna try and they want you know hold them as ransom, kind of, or more like, so he wouldn't blow up the place. So he breaks in, takes him back. End of the day, he gets his parents back. Cool. So they're on the ship, and the bad guys can take the people's faces and take their bodies. So they figure out that
Are they
his
scrolls?
parents. Yeah, no, they're not scrolls. They're
Okay.
chronicons. They're like keepers of the time, space
Okay.
continuum, whatever. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so pretty much they're dead. The parents are dead. The bad guys took over their bodies, and there's a fight, and he literally has to kill his parents.
Okay.
Literally has to kill the likeness of his parents. But his
Yeah.
parents are already
Yeah.
dead. But
In their bodies. Yeah.
yeah, but it was like what, like, man, like the 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 emotion was like, damn, man, like I really feel bad for the character.
So
You know what I mean?
they pulled it off, like writing wise. They were able to.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like,
Okay.
and the whole, and just the drama of, like, and you could see the emotion in his face. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like what he
Yeah.
had to do. You know what I mean? Like he understands that they're not his parents, but he's literally looking at his mom's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was deep, man. It was for the show, man. And
It makes me want to go back and watch a Speedy, but I'm not. I just can't.
you could. I think if you just jump in on this season, I think you'd be okay. Just accept for things for what they are. And
Just hopping in on the middle of the season.
yeah, man. Who cares, man? Who
Okay.
cares about the other stuff? Just
Excuse me. I have
if
to
you
get
have
my
questions,
notes.
you could just ask me. So what happened? Why is this like this? And I can give you the cliff notes. Um, but and also establishes how time travel works still in the MCU. Of course, Mac's parents are dead, but he didn't like blip out of existence. Back to the Future style. You know what I mean? He's still, alive. Even though they're jumping back and forth through time and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they established that the rules of time travel and things that happen are going to continue. Especially in that show that they established in Avengers. Can you hear me? Oh, he went away. So we're gonna continue. Let's see here. I really enjoyed that the emotion that had, and I was really was moved by the acting, man. It was a really good episode, and just the whole episode of the Ages of Shield, man. It was really, really done well, and a bunch of other things happened too. But that was that little part about Mac was really special. And they established, that the time travel rules, the Avengers time travel rules that were already established for MCU, because
Yeah.
obviously Mac's parents are dead, so he didn't blip out like you know,
Yeah. It,
Back
didn't-
to the
it didn't
Future style.
disappear.
Yeah. So this sounds like they're holding their gun. They're sticking to the rules of time travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're not though. But go ahead. Continue.
Well, at least they're gonna try their best and change
We'll,
things.
we'll allow it.
Yeah, change things as needed.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's get back into DC now. Typical for a J.J. Abrams project, everyone is in the dark about his DC debut for HBO Max. Which I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm a fan anymore of J.J. Abrams, but I'll be all right.
It's because of Star Wars.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I liked Force Awakens. I didn't like the Ryan Johnson
I
one.
think I don't like Ryan Johnson, and I think he wanted to make the third one a certain way, and they made him make changes, and he wasn't happy about it, and I think he didn't.
Who,
he didn't-
J.J. Abrams?
Yeah, I think he didn't stick to his guns on you know what I mean.
I think he had to fix what Ryan Johnson torn astray. Like it was,
I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, I like Knives Out, so I can't. I'm
Yeah.
not saying Ryan Johnson's
No.
not a Ryan Johnson. Am I saying it right? Yeah, he's not a good. He's a good director, clearly.
Yeah,
That just wasn't his thing.
I just don't think Star Wars was his thing. I think he had a different take on what he thought how Star Wars should be like. But anyway.
Yeah.
The Justice League Dark TV series will be under his production wing, J.J. Abrams, and while its roster of horror heroes haven't been officially revealed yet, there has been leaks on some who are in development. I hope that I don't know. One of them is Detective Chimp, already proving the show isn't afraid to embrace the colorful weirdness and quirky wit of the comic book. There is some excitement about the possibility of Detective Chimp being on the show, as he has the potential of being
Detective Chimp.
yeah, it's one of those weird.
I'm not familiar. I have to look
Yeah,
that one up.
yeah, it's one of those weird ones.
Detective Chimp.
Yeah, some excitement about the possibility of him being on the show, as he has the potential of being a scene stealer and a meme generator, kind of like
Okay.
another what do I call it, Rocket Raccoon, kind of character.
But yeah.
But he's a detective. Social media buzz will drive the general public to see this obscure team. After all, this isn't a Justice League, but a group of weirdos that mainly used to inhabit DC's college crowd Vertigo imprint. While there is no plans to include Batman in the series, Man-Bat is under serious consideration for the team. Man-Bat truly brings out the monstrous element of the franchise as provided showcase for HBO Max's bigger budget effects to grab spotlight. I don't know how you feel about that. Justice League Dark TV show
If
by
it doesn't
J.J.
have
Abrams.
Constantine, it's not.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna pop.
It's not gonna pop if it doesn't have Constantine.
Yeah, man,
I mean,
I
that's
agree.
just.
I mean, it's gonna have Zatanna. She's
Yeah.
technically the other
Yeah, yeah.
magician.
Zatanna would be good, but man, it'll be tough. I think it'll be tough to
What if
sell
they?
without
Because
Constantine.
Wonder Woman was also part of that team at one point too. You know that,
Was
right?
she? I
Yeah.
did not know that.
So what if they pop her in like what's her name? Like
I
you
don't
know
see them doing that.
I don't know. They cut the check, man. They cut the
I don't
check.
see them doing that. The best thing we get is like a Shazam where
Yeah.
you get to see the torso of one of those big characters.
Yeah.
But what's the other guy's name? Edgerton? I can never say his name. Edgerton? Edgerton? You know what I'm talking about? He wants to rhymes all the time.
One that rhymes all the time.
He's like a demon, but he rhymes all the time.
I
He's
think
like
I know what you're talking about, but I don't
yeah,
remember his name either. But
Edgerton.
yeah,
Edgerton,
something
I
like
want
that.
to say his
Something
name.
like that.
I could see, that character being on there.
I think that's cool. They can get some little funny things to use in
Yeah.
some ads.
Yeah, but if it doesn't have Constantine, like,
Yeah, I'm not there, man. If it doesn't have Constantine, I don't know if I'm there. I think it's gonna.
yeah, I'll give it a shot. Listen, I'm currently watching Doom Patrol, and
Yeah.
there's nobody. Well, Cyborg. They threw Cyborg in there.
Yeah. How you feel? Did you like it, or no? You're not.
I'm not finished yet. I'm like on episode 4, and it's actually not bad.
Okay. All right.
Actually, not bad. I have to give him credit. It's not bad.
I'm disappointed in Titans, so Doom Patrol. I didn't latch on. So.
Yeah, I warned you about Titans. I won't take credit.
You did. All of you did.
I warned you about Titans.
But I rowed the boat till the sank, man. I did. I went down with the ship. I went down with the ship. Anyway.
Yeah.
Another one for the MCU here. Kevin Feige is a master at puzzles. If Endgame was a culmination of a decade's worth of pieces scattered through 21 previous films. Was it 21 previous films? Feige is not wasting time in creating additional sets of mind twisters. The upcoming Disney Plus shows have a purpose, planting seeds that will bear fruit in the future. The new She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel series on Disney Plus are leading towards a larger goal. But what? According to his sources, not mine, both programs will essentially drop hints at what is to come, an A-Force theatrical movie. Endgame offered a widescreen preview of an all-Marvel superheroine team, which is what A-Force, I think we all knew that this was coming in some shape or form. Apparently, She-Hulk will form the team with Ms. Marvel and Monica Rambeau, otherwise known as Spectrum. She was the energy Ms. Marvel in the comic book, if you remember, Tarek.
She was the what?
She was the energy Ms. Marvel, remember?
The energy Ms. Marvel?
Yeah, she was like all in energy. She was the energy.
Oh, no, I don't remember that. I thought she was just Ms. Marvel.
She was in the Secret Wars, remember?
Yeah. Okay. I know she's, yeah.
In the comic book, yeah. That was that.
Yeah.
And she drops the Ms. Marvel again, obviously, because it gets confused. She keeps a Spectrum. In the recent stories. Spectrum will also appear in another Disney Plus series, WandaVision, making the streaming channel the perfect way to gradually introduce new concepts. So I think what I'm getting is they're going to introduce the characters that they want, and then they're going to mash them up into a movie.
Yeah.
So he says, but those aren't shockers, and a Scoop Jam would be complete without one. Dazzler is being discussed to join the team, giving them a mutant presence that finds Marvel Studios taking advantage of his newly acquired Fox IP. So that was the big scoop of that Dazzler is going to be going to get the upgrade. Let's see what else. Make sure I'm not skipping anything here.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
Dazzler was definitely the worst character on the X Men arcade video game. I know that. As I just don't know anyone who was like, let me skip
She's
Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Wolverine. Let me get Dazzler. Like,
she was pretty powerful. She's
yeah.
pretty
Now
powerful.
in the comic book, she's very popular.
Hmm.
In the comic book, she's not very popular, but she's one of those
Yeah.
quirky X Men characters that's
Right. Right.
pretty popular. That
Right.
can be popular. I like the idea of her being part of the team up, um, but I have to say, I think in the Netflix series they said the all female team up a lot better. Like I wanted to see Misty Knight and oh my god, why can't I think of her name now? Who's Iron Fist's companion?
Yeah, she wasn't. She was there. She was in Luke Cage, and then she was
Yeah,
also
yeah,
in.
but Misty Knight, and there was another one who was Iron Fist's companion. She was a lot more talented than him.
The girlfriend.
Was his girlfriend kind of, but she was like part of the hand also, or
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. It's Eileen something.
It's
Is he gonna make?
gosh, I forgot her name
But
now.
anyway,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Colleen
Colleen.
Wing.
Yeah, she was in there too.
Yeah,
She was in the
yeah.
second
So
season. Yeah, or the first season too, should I say?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
Yeah.
were setting that team up
Mm-hmm.
because I know that team up happens in the comic books.
Right.
I was a little more interested in that. Now it feels like they have to reset, which is fine, but um, we'll see how they reset it.
Yeah.
Again, I think the all female team up is cool, but now you don't have Scarlet Witch. Now you don't have Black Widow.
Mm.
So, we're looking at you're establishing new characters and then trying to make us excited about them again, and then make us excited about that team up,
Yeah.
which they
So
can do.
I think instead of probably the template that they had, which was the solo movie and then the team up movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think they're doing the solo movie, but now in TV form, because they can, and then they can ex, um, expand on the stories better with a 10 episode TV show
yeah,
about one character, and then after they create the passion for that character that way, then do
yeah.
the mashup, the team up movie. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And do the
Yeah.
theatrical thing. So I mean, I guess I don't know if that they save if they save money doing that way, or they're able to execute it better. It remains to be seen. You know, we'll see what happens
Yeah, I'm
when we
not
get.
sure if it's a money thing necessarily. I think they're just trying to recreate that excitement. You know what I mean?
Right.
That came from
Right.
seeing the buildup of.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think Thor was introduced by just them showing a hammer at the end of an Iron Man movie,
True.
or was it a Hulk movie? It was just a hammer.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Let's see here. The last one is another side one. They may do some live action. What if, theatrical releases? That is
right.
what they're.
Oh, theatrical.
Uh huh. Yep.
Okay,
Some actors may return
that'd be a little different.
depending on how, I guess, how the animated versions are well received. If they're well
Hmm.
received, they're thinking about doing some what if live action versions, movies, kind of like in the realm of the Elseworlds, kind of, like what they're gonna do with the Red Sun, maybe, possibly, quite possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Mhm.
gonna be a theatrical release as well, but or maybe it'll go straight to Disney Plus. Who knows? But
That's not something that should go straight to Disney Plus.
I think so.
I think they should save stuff like
Yeah. What if
Black Panther, Thor,
Yeah.
and Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they should save that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
theatrical and like the other
Like
stuff.
what if Falcon was
Tie in maybe.
like what if Falcon was King of Wakanda? Things like that. You know what I mean? They should put on Disney Plus. Yeah.
It's that time to try to divide us, Speedy. Trying to unite around cause.
Let's see. Let's see what else. I got I talked about that. Let's see. The last one I wanted to talk about was getting back to the whole DC Batman, Michael Keaton, all that reveal stuff that we talked about. If you remember that, we talked about it 2 or 3
Yeah.
shows ago. We're actually getting into now. The rumor is that Ben Affleck is returning.
Yes.
He is returning. somehow, some form. Let me bring you back here to the show here. He is going. He's coming back somehow in some form to Batman.
Okay.
Zack Snyder is involved again, supposedly. Also, Tim Burton. All the heads are getting together. Michael Keaton supposedly has agreed in principle to coming back to doing some kind of Bruce Wayne, Batman kind of thing. So everyone's excited about it, about the potential of some kind of like multiverse that the Flash creates. That he goes to that other Earth where Tim Burton's Batman is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How it's gonna be executed, I don't know.
I'm here for it. I want to see Michael Keaton. Listen, after Birdman, I know Michael Keaton can do almost anything.
Yeah. What if? I mean, this is all like all these rumors are all contingent on if the Snyder Cut is dope.
Are they really?
I think so.
If it's not dope, they're just gonna be like,
what if it's a stinker, Tarek, and we're like, oh man, what all this hype for a whole year for this? What happens?
I'm
Tarek?
not going to be surprised if it is.
Man, we're talking about some coin that they're spending on rehashing this movie.
I'm not of the mindset that the Snyder Cut will be good. I hope it will be good, but I'm not making that assumption.
I'm afraid.
But I don't think they're going to give up on this franchise, the whole DC thing, anytime soon.
I'm afraid.
They're not giving up on it.
I don't know.
This is Warner Brothers we're talking about. This is AOL. Like this time, like they're like
AT&T.
AT&T. Yeah, we'll lose this money. We'll figure it out. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know,
They're gonna figure it out.
That's a lot of coin to lose, man, on something that
they're gonna figure it out.
Is a gamble, technically, right? Well, I mean,
like if you think like, let's just say they lose. Well, are they losing money? Like, so they're not making money.
They're not really making money because they're putting it on HBO Max, but there is also trying to get people to sign up, right?
Yeah.
So,
but we think they're not making money. But let's just say they broke even on Justice League.
Right.
I don't know if they lost or not. I don't think they did. I think they probably broke even.
Oh, you mean the original theatrical release? You mean?
Yeah.
I think they made a profit off that, probably worldwide.
So just like, okay, well, we only made $30 million, but we didn't lose money, and we're AT&T, Time Warner. Who cares? We'll get it right, and the next one we'll make $100 million. Like we'll keep doing it until we get it right to make more and more money. But as long as we don't lose enough, it's not like it would take so much for them to be bankrupt or to be like, oh, this is not worth it. And the properties are so big. Batman and Superman. It doesn't matter what Marvel does. As a cinematic universe, Batman and Superman are probably still two of the biggest superheroes.
True.
In the world, people still buy those lunchboxes.
But you think? Do you think that? I don't know what came first. I think really the rumor about the Spider-Verse live action, probably came out on the Marvel side, Sony side first. But do you think that news inspired AT&T to say, "Hey, we got the Flash. We could do the same thing with Batman." You know what I mean? Because it sounds similar, like the planning sounds similar.
I think it might have come from their CW stuff, Infinite Earth stuff.
Right.
I think it might have come from there.
Right.
Or there's no other ideas. It's like, all right.
Just give the fans what they want.
Figure out how to get these people together.
Do what the fans want, and they will spend the money. That's what I learned a long time ago. Do what the people want.
The fans don't know what they're talking about.
It's a reason why Subway still makes sandwiches to this day. You go in, you tell them what you want. They make it right in front of you. You're right. Did you like it? Good. Bam. They get
because Quiznos is expensive. That's why Subway.
Quiznos is done. Quiznos is long gone.
Is Quiznos over?
Oh yeah, man.
I don't even go to Jimmy John's. It's mad expensive. I do mess with Jersey Mike's. Is Jersey Mike's a sponsor of our Speedy?
No, they're not. But we definitely just gave them all free advertising.
We gave them a bunch of free advertising.
Sorry, Mr. Beasley. We'll be better next time. Oh man, Tarek, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, man.
No doubt, man.
Anything else you've been watching, checking out?
I'm just now getting into Hannah on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, and
she's like a secret agent, whatever, super spy or something.
Yeah. Father raised her to be like the super agent, and I'm gonna try to fight through Naruto.
Okay.
been tough.
I don't want that
trying to
fight.
through it.
That's a lot of
I'm
episodes.
trying to fight through Naruto. Definitely.
That's like starting to watch Dragon Ball Z from the beginning again. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you know what? I got YouTube TV, so like Dragon Ball Super is on there,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, you can watch Dragon Ball Super from the beginning, and I'm like, you're on
Yeah.
episode 131 of season one.
Wow.
Like, what is this? What's going on? So,
Yeah, it's wild.
struggle game is real.
Remember they they base that stuff on manga, big thick comic books. So
Hey, I might just have to go back and read the comic book
yeah,
instead. Like,
that might be the better move. It'll
that's
probably
too
be
many
cheaper too.
episodes. Yeah.
Oh man, tell them how they can keep up with you, how they can follow you, sir.
Just my name, Tarek Lewis on Facebook, and my name is Tarek on Instagram.
All right. Of course, you can follow me, myself, as DJ at DJ Speedy JR, all the socials. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here in Geek Culture Congress on the live show here on Checkpoint XP. If you're listening to the recording on many of our other outlets, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Make sure you follow us, the RSS feed. You can find it everywhere, anywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere. It's everywhere and everywhere. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. 3 words, Geek Culture Congress. On Instagram, Joey Franchise runs that for us. It's at Geek Culture Congress, all together, one word. And thank you so much for hanging out with us today, Mr. Tarek Lewis. Thank you so much. Hopefully next week we will have Joey Franchise with us as well, and we'll have some
I miss
more.
him already. I miss him dearly.
Yes, and we'll have some more juicy stuff to talk about hopefully next week. If not,
Yeah.
we'll make something up.
I'm sure something will drop.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, brother. I'll see you, man.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
See you guys
Later.
next week.